Hey, what's up? I'm Roller Coaster Rider,
I'm Kay.
and we're going to kind of review a few bits, a few details, and some wacky hijinks that happened at No Coaster Con that happened January 13th, 2018 in the very, very warm, like -2 degree Chicago that we enjoy so much. Kay did not show up. She was she was busy training for the 2018 Winter Olympics. And so KD and I went, and KD, he would have liked to have been here, but he was busy training. He was busy training like top secret military stuff involving like North Dakota or something. By the way, that just stays between us. And I'm joking. Anyway, so what's gonna happen is that Kay is gonna ask me about like the various people that went up, and I'll say some stuff that I remember, some questions that were received, some questions that I asked, and some of this might be a little some of this will be interesting, but they said no filming when the presenters were going on. I think some people did, or some people took pictures. So we'll see. Okay.
Okay, so usually I've gone to No Coaster Con, but this year I was unable to attend. So it took place Saturday, January 13th, 2018. So anyway, we're just going to run through and see what we can highlight of the day. So, you always have your everybody's there, registration, opening remarks, welcome. So it looks like the first amusement park that was there was Kentucky Kingdom.
Yeah.
And it had Rob House, Michael Moore, and Travis Potts.
Not the
So,
filmmaker.
so can you tell us anything that is going to be new there, or what
Um,
they discussed, if you're allowed to?
I think I am. They're replacing their Enterprise with I believe, a Zamperla Endeavor. They didn't say if the Enterprise was a Hoos or a Schwarzkopf. If I were to guess, it was probably a Hoos, because one of the questions was, when did the Enterprise open? And they called on me, and I answered 1990, and I won a sports bottle, I believe.
All right, good job.
Or was it a sports bottle? Maybe it was some. I asked if they had a magnet, and they said no, so I was like, okay, I'll take the sports bottle.
Anything else?
Um, let's see. They're adding some kids rides. They did not reveal anything about like what's coming up. Um, in terms of like the future, because last year they said like in a few months we'll announce like this huge, gigantic, mega announcement, and I'm still waiting. the
Did
simu
they have a name for the new ride?
um I can't remember what it is, but they're happy that it's not they said that they were.
Storm related?
Yeah, it wasn't storm related. They were very happy about that. Uh let's see what else. They're going to have two simulator films because they're very pass holder heavy, or they want to like do stuff for their pass holders. So every other week they're going to swap the films
Oh, good.
to give you something to do, or to give the pass holders kind of a reason to go back. Um
Okay.
um I I asked a question that was pretty interesting. It was a case of like mishearing, so then I had to like kind of edit it. I asked him if he came up with any, and he thought I said, or he thought I said Derby names,
Oh,
because they said no, but we're near the Kentucky Derby, so yeah, I was, we tried to sneak that in, whatever. And then I raised my hand again and I said, no, I said dirty names. And he kind of like put his head down to like kind of gain his composure back, so to speak. And he said, I don't know about them, but I have not submitted any dirty names for like ride name ideas. They also posted I think a promotional video, or yeah, they showed a video where it makes that park look really cool. And we also got like a lanyard thing, or we got like six lanyards where it showed the four main coasters, but it also showed their Larson looping coaster, Eye of the Storm. So, so that explains So that was something pretty fun. They gave that out to everybody.
Okay, so next, did Ace discuss any of the events that are going on in 2018?
They did discuss, like, just hurry up, like, get to the Japan one, because that's, spoiler alert, that's the one I'm looking forward to. And I was hoping that they would reveal, like, the price and stuff. Some of the presenters said that they had already booked their plane ticket. But they gave no details about, like, the official park list, anything about ERT, anything about, like, the cost and stuff. They said that would be revealed in, like, if I were to guess, probably, like, maybe late February to April, somewhere around there.
Good.
Which I think is kind of cutting it tight.
So February, March, April.
I think that's kind of cutting it tight, though.
Oh, well. Okay, it looks like our next presenter is Brad Donati with Raging Waves.
Oh my gosh, this was wonderful. This is probably the best presenter that we've had in quite a while. No offense to the other presenters, but what made Raging Waves so awesome was they gave everyone free mini donuts. They weren't fried, they were, like, baked and stuff. Like, kind of like this, you know, where it's put it on here and then it just falls.
Yeah.
And then they put a bunch of, like, cinnamon powder in it, and then they shook it up, and then they gave that to everyone. It was warm.
Oh, cool.
I was able to get seconds because they said we still got some. They are adding this 2-person slide complex. And they're also adding a kids area. Well, not necessarily a kids play area, more like a kids splash play area, you know, with jets and stuff.
Okay, that's good for the kids.
Which, if there's no height limit, maybe.
Walk through it.
Yeah. And then he talked about the event last year, about how it was how it was really successful. It was $25. So they thought, what's the way to top that? Charge less. So it's only $20.
And that event is in August?
August 11th.
Okay.
And that's when, spoiler alert, KD and I aren't exactly multi-trillionaires. So that's when we were like, okay, I haven't been to Raging Waves yet, but I am definitely going on that day.
Okay.
And I was like,
good.
KD, are you going? He said, probably. And I was like, I'll have to get you in. Because he's not a member, so he would pay the non-member price. So that's where we're going to be August 11th. Then they kind of took in some questions. That guy is really passionate and enthusiastic. Like, it seems like he drank like 3 Red Bulls or something and then went up. Okay, maybe not that insane, but like really happy and really enthusiastic and like a burst of energy. Let's see, what else? He said, like, thank you for letting us come last year. We know that you guys are coaster enthusiasts, and we were like, why would people be enthusiastic about roller coasters? That was his response. That was his comment or something like that. And so he was like, we had so much fun last year. We're back this year. Plus, they're like 20 minutes from where the event was?
I don't know. You said Yorkville or something?
Yeah, Yorkville. It's...
Isn't that south of, like, Aurora or something?
So, this event was kind of Illinois heavy. Well, most Illinois heavy. Well, I'll get to that, unfortunately. And, so then I raised a question, and I think he kind of, like, again, mistook it. I asked him, if you could build a roller coaster, what roller coaster would you build? And he talked about how he went to Waterworld in Denver, Colorado, and he went on this slide that goes up and down hills. And he said, it would be awesome if we could build one of those. And then...
Was it a water coaster, the one?
Yeah, it's a water slide. It's kind of like a Splash Blaster or Magic Waters, former at Magic Waters, or like a Wildebeest or Mammoth, or like those slides that go up and down hill. So,
are they mostly a water park?
Yeah, they are completely a water park.
So maybe he did not misunderstand the roller coaster question, and maybe he wanted a water type field coaster.
That's when I said probably one of my top two comments where I saw Winter from Schlitterbahn, and I said, Schlitterbahn is here. You can ask them. And what I didn't realize was that Schlitterbahn doesn't make water slides anymore.
They don't build them.
No, they don't. They don't design. They don't like
Oh,
design their own. God, I can't remember what it is, but it was that giant, that like 170 plus foot tall version, not in Kansas City, but the one in Galveston. I said, didn't you guys make that? And they're like, that was Whitewater. And I was like, so I had to apologize to both, saying like I didn't mean any ill will. What?
Okay, can we move on?
Yeah.
Okay, so you had a break. Then you got Lisa, who talked about Silver Dollar City. Did she have any news?
She kind of posted some kind of a combination on ride off ride of Time Traveler, and it was really interesting about how when it's during the summer, I think they have to like keep it greased up because of the friction and the heat or something. So if you go on it during the summer, it'll spin like really fast. But if you go on it during like the early spring or fall or winter, it won't spin. It won't spin as fast, or maybe it's something else. But it's because of the mechanisms that are involved with it.
Anything else going on there?
I think there was kind of like a no, that was with Dollywood, but I asked her kind of off presentation, like during the break, if a B&M dive machine or if an RMC Raptor or T-Rex was ever considered, because those were both strong rumors before Time Traveler, and she said no, neither of those were planned. And let's see what else. Silver Dollar City did a raffle for tickets. KD and I did not win, but congratulations to the people that did.
All right. Then you have you heard from Jeffrey Flicko from Six Flags Fiesta Texas.
Yeah, Mr. Fiesta Texas.
Is there anything exciting going on there?
They're doing a lot of repainting. Wonder Woman, I was wondering like if what I asked him was, are the vests, are the vests or the restraints going to be, am I going to be able to ride basically? And he said that the restraints are gonna be like vest style, similar to Joker, like those free fly ones, instead of just the regular lap bar. He said, with the exception of the lift hill, there's not one flat piece of track on the entire ride.
Wow.
The brakes at the end look like magnetic brakes. There's going to be a Wonder Woman statue, and as you're going through it, there's going to be shade. There's going to be like trees, and there's going to be a lot of I don't want to say agriculture, but there's going to be a lot of grass, landscaping. That's what I meant to say. I'm sorry, but yeah, there's going to be a lot of landscaping around the ride. Let's see what else. There's going to be Wonder Woman signs. The carousel at Fiesta Texas is being relocated. He did not say where, but it's being relocated, I guess to make room for the entrance to the queue line, so it's going to be around there. They're also offering, I think they had like a version of like the Coca-Cola Freestyle, except with alcoholic beverages. And I think someone asked, is that compatible with the all-season sports bottle? And he was saying no. They gave no information about what the dark ride is going to be. However, I found out that it's not going to be screen heavy, and I used Toy Story Mania as the example. Like, is it going to be like Toy Story Mania where it's nothing but screens? And he said no, it's not going to be screen heavy. And the tease that they posted about 3 ships, I don't know if that's necessarily true, because with this one, they just like posted a shadow of Sherlock Holmes. So that might have been a tease or something, like maybe Scooby-Doo is going out through the ocean or something like that. Let's see, what else? They posted a lot of stuff regarding the 25th celebration in the Ace event. One funny, like someone said, like, like someone said like, what do you think it's going to be rethemed? What do you think the dark ride's going to be rethemed to? And someone said Jeff Siebert, and he said no. Which I thought was pretty funny. And I told him my idea. It's too late though, about to have like a Bugs Bunny version or a Wile E. Coyote version, where you're in kind of like mine cars. This is for the Wile E. Coyote version, and you have like your Acme gun, and you're shooting at like Roadrunner targets, and every time you do, it goes bleep bleep. And then at the end, if your score is well enough, then there's like a scene of like him flying like Superman or something, and if it fails, there's a picture of your car like being crushed by an Acme anvil.
Hmm.
Or an Acme safe or something. Which that would be so cute.
Yep, that's true.
Mhm.
Okay, so then did Caitlin Sherwood show up for King's Dominion?
Yes, she did.
All right.
She posted the on ride video, and I got a girl to chuckle when I made a comment like, "I can fit." She posted like a photo scan, and so did Fiesta Texas, about like taking a photo, I guess like every hour or so, and she was very happy that they were lengthening Hurler's track instead of shortening it, like other RMC conversions have been. And the tease that they did last year, I think, where they said there's really more coming, that was they intended to do that. And then I told her something off camera about or off presentation about In the Loop, where they said, it's the Hurler. What can RMC really do with the Hurler? Burn it down. Maybe keep the lift hill. And she found that pretty humorous. All season dining is being expanded to every single food location in the park.
Wow.
That means Sweet Frog frozen yogurt, which is, if you've seen one of my earlier videos, that's one of my favorite things to eat at Great America.
But this was King's Dominion.
Yeah, I don't know if I answered a question correctly or if I just got picked, but I got a King's Dominion flash drive with like an on-ride video, an off-ride video, and stuff like that from King's Dominion.
Oh, cool. What ride?
Twisted Timbers.
Oh.
I almost said Mystic Timbers, and I was like,
cool.
That's probably not it.
Okay, so then you
And I apologize to her.
Then you had another presenter, but, well, they didn't show up, but it was just small talk.
No, please, who was it?
So then you had lunch.
No, who was the presenter?
Six Flags Great America.
This one was underwhelming. Being insanely kind here. They started by like saying, "Hey, we're sorry we can't be there, but we've had the shortest off season this year. We're gonna reveal a brand new event February 13th. Okay, bye."
Okay, so everybody's got to tune into their
website.
Six Flags Great America website.
Like in 2 weeks.
Yep, February, and see what's going on.
Like cool. I told KD, it's like they didn't even say when the park is opening.
It opens in April, doesn't it?
Yeah, but they didn't give the date.
Well, maybe this is going to be a big blitz of information.
Okay.
A name for the new ride.
Please announce the name for the new ride.
Or, whatever.
Yeah, I was hoping they were going to announce like a show or something about the dining pass or at least the name. That's what I was hoping.
Well, maybe they want everybody to hit that internet.
A lot. They put a Christmas tree behind them, which I think might have been them just trolling us, if I were to guess. I really think that we're not going to get a Holiday in the Park event. I think we're going to get a Mardi Gras event.
Oh, maybe.
Because February 13th is Mardi Gras.
Is that a Tuesday? Fat Tuesday? Or
I don't know. So then, yeah.
Okay, so it's maybe Fat Tuesday. Okay, so then you broke for lunch, and then you had Dave Johnson for Six Flags America.
This guy, no offense, Six Flags America and Dave Johnson, I didn't really know him. I don't really know a lot of the like park reps and general managers and stuff, but this guy, he was so happy and excited, and he showed a bunch of enthusiasm. He even made a joke like saying, we're not taking V2 because Six Flags America didn't give me enough luggage, and and it wouldn't fit in the overhead bins, which was like a good way to like make fun of how they rides that we don't want they take.
Mm.
Um,
Well, they expand their park. They get rides, old rides, but new rides to their clientele.
and KD might go there this year, so I was like, "Hey, KD, you get to ride Iron Wolf and Raging Cajun again."
All right.
And he was like, "I think I'll ride one of those. I'm not sure if I'll ride the other one." They showed how the Lazy River is going to be expanded. Really, it's essentially turning an O into like a B. You know?
So an O with another O on top and a line.
No, it's like a lowercase b. So instead of going like this, it's now going like this, where it'll have like it'll have like an extension, like turning around into like a lowercase b. Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
They're adding more shade, more shade structures, more cabanas. They're I think they're repaving, or they're smoothing out the wave pool. They're repainting Zumazon Falls. Um, they are clearing land for a major new addition.
Good. Is it going to be a new one or from St. Louis, Magic Mountain?
I don't know. I don't even know if. Well, I guess they could get Ninja. Ugh. They can get the boomerang. I'm kidding. So then they did Q&A. They gave more rides this year than last year, and they were upset about how Wonder Woman Lasso of Truth, it was delayed, but it worked because it kind of got released around the time of the movie. So they had this hit movie, and now they have this big ride to go along with the movie.
Cool.
Which, hey, Six
So
Flags...
timing can be everything.
Hey, Six Flags America, we've given you rides. How about you give us that? We'll give you a sky coaster. They did a lot of questions. One of them that I asked was, have there been thoughts about Roar getting Millennium Flyers, because it is a GCI, and it's the only GCI to not have Millennium Flyer trains at this point. And because of that, I'm kind of happy spoiler alert, Tom Rebby didn't show up, and I'm kind of happy because he probably would have had...
Robbie?
No, Rebby, I believe.
Oh, okay.
He would have had more than a few words to tell me if he had been there and heard that question. But they were saying, no, our wooden coasters, we maintain them really well. They're very smooth, and a lot of people were talking about how Wild One was a really fun ride there. Everyone was being nice, no one was being mean. But a girl did ooh when I asked about that.
Okay.
Which I thought was kind of funny.
Okay, so should we move on?
Yeah.
A presenter that's always there, Don Helbig.
Via phone or via
Kings
Skype.
Island. Well, you know what, these no coaster no
coaster cons.
Yes. We either have a lot of snow or it's freezing cold, and other places get the snow that maybe missed us.
Yeah, they were saying like how they wanted to be, both him and, spoiler alert, Tony Clark, they wanted to be there, but they couldn't because the tarmac or something, the wheels were frozen on either their plane or their car, so they couldn't show up. This one had a really good presentation because Mystic Timbers, the new coaster that they added last year, I guess had this like beaten up truck as part of the theming. So Don Helbig, since he couldn't be there, he decided to post a video about how they messed up the truck. And so essentially, the way I would describe it is, you kind of get people that like have the brains of Mythbusters, but act like the cast from Jackass. But what's interesting is that the way they were kind of dressed is kind of like the cast from Duck Dynasty without the beards. Which I was telling KD that, and he was like, they do. I was like, this would be like smashing things like Cincinnati's Duck Dynasty or something. that was the one of the main things that was pretty funny. The other thing that was really funny was that Tony Clark, or no, yeah, sorry. Don Helbig says Surf Dog is a coaster.
And what type of coaster is Surf Dog?
A Zamperla Disco, or Zamperla Disco coaster.
Okay.
So,
people are stretching what they're thinking
Yeah.
is a coaster and what isn't.
Yeah, park reps are really doing that.
Well, I'm thinking they have to if the park is promoting it that way.
Hmm.
I mean, I think they would have to. Okay, then you've got Dollywood, Pete Owens. Great guy,
Hmm.
great park.
And I'm gonna get this out of the way. I did my typical question, like, can Mystery Mine get lap bars, or can employees touch the restraints? I'm sorry. I really want them to. I apologize. They
or
were
at least just have one row for larger riders.
yeah,
Taller.
or have seatbelts. That way you can know like how close you are.
Mm.
That's something I don't get. But okay, that out of the way. With Lightning Rod, people are saying that they slowed the launch. It says it has to be like between, I think he said 46 and 48 miles an hour, or it won't get over that hill.
Whoa.
So the rumors about them slowing it down, not true.
Cool.
He talked about their holiday event, the Smoky Mountain Christmas, I believe that's what it's called, and how they want to get more lights. And then I think Silver Dollar City said, as long as you don't break our record. And Pete was like, we might. Which was pretty funny. He wasn't like in a 50s shirt or like a lumberjack shirt, so that was kind of a little depressing. No mention on what's going on with the River Battle location. But they are clearing land for, quote, their largest expansion ever in the park.
Cabins, water park.
It's in the
Rides,
it's in the park.
shows.
I imagine if I were to wish, I am predicting a B&M Giga Coaster.
Ooh.
A B&M Giga Coaster that is either at least 300 feet tall or has a drop that's like 300 feet tall, like deep into a ravine, like just airtime hills and insaneness. Let's see, what else? I think that
Well, doesn't he usually talk about the shows? How's that new hotel going? Did he mention that?
I don't think he did, which I wonder if they would ever consider building like a Dreammore Lodge or something, like a more kind of like instead of like a 5-star, maybe more like a 2.5, 3-star type of hotel, not necessarily for people with big wallets,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I didn't take notes. I'm just doing this from what I remembered.
Okay, then you have Jeff Licko again for Six Flags Over Georgia.
Yeah,
So which park is his park?
his park is Fiesta Texas. He did.
Ah,
They even brought it up how he was doing double duty with over Georgia, and how basically what he did was he recited the information, and he showed a POV, and he showed how they're repainting it and they're renaming it and something into like what is it called? Twisted Cyclone, I think. Yeah, Twisted Cyclone. And so, like, he just announced stuff about the ride because it's obviously not his park, so he wouldn't necessarily know a whole lot. And he said, like, and at the end he said, "Does anyone have any questions?" And then when no one raised their hand, he said, "Good, because I don't know them."
I don't have the answers. I don't know it.
And should I say the question that I wish I had asked?
No.
Oh. Okay,
You can save it.
I'll put that as a separate video, like the question I wish I could have asked.
Okay.
Do you want to pause it and have me ask it right now?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so then you had another break, and then you said Tony Clark called in from Cedar Point.
Yeah, he called in via Skype, and at the beginning he had like a brown robe, kind of like the Emperor from Star Wars, which that's what KD and I were kind of like giggling at. And then he was like, "Hello, I may resemble someone from a recent movie. And he also couldn't make it again, either his flight, like the flight couldn't go, or like his car wouldn't start. But he was post he had like a kind of like a snarky, smart alecky attitude with stuff. There's like he posted a picture of Sandcastle Suites, and this wasn't like a slideshow. He was like literally doing like, here's Sandcastle Suites. Like he was just putting up the picture manually, and one of them, and he was saying like, this is Sandcastle Suites being demolished, and a lot of people went, "Aww," and he said like, "You care." which was hysterical. And he also said that the stadium was being removed, and what is it being replaced with? You'll find out eventually.
Oh, good.
With Steel Vengeance, something that's really cool is that the extremely long exit way is being shortened, but to still be ADA accessible, they're adding an elevator.
Oh, really?
So now it's like a short walk. It's now a short walk off the ride.
That's good. Short walk.
I think it had like 28.9 seconds of airtime or 29.7 seconds of airtime, and he was like going through it, and they asked him like, "What do you want with Mean Streak?" And he said, "I want the most airtime on any coaster." And
another record.
Yeah, Tony loves his records.
Yep.
Or Tony and Cedar Point's PR love their records. And there's like some words they said like, "Hey, what do you think about this idea?" And he said, "How much airtime?" It's like 29.5 seconds. It's like, "Can you give me 0.2 more seconds of airtime?" He's like, "Okay." So yeah, that was some stuff. Two of the questions that were really funny, and again, I'll do a separate video about the question that I wish I could have asked him. Can you put stars next to Over Georgia and Cedar Point, please? So the question that someone asked him was, how much does Steel Vengeance cost? And he said, "Why, do you want one?"
He doesn't like it?
No, he was like saying, "Why, do you want to buy one?" Sorry, we can't tell you that. But his response was hilarious. Like, he was very kind of like, "This is what I think. Okay." And the one that I asked, which this one is tied with Raging Waves and Schlitterbahn when I said that comment. I asked, how many rooms is Breakers adding? And he said, "Well, and then it said call disconnected." And then that's when everyone was like, everyone was laughing and clapping, and I was like, "I'm sorry." I said that a couple of times, and I said, maybe I shouldn't have gone first. And then when they got him back, he didn't know that he got disconnected. So they were like, "Tony, we didn't get that." He was like, "Oh." So then he started talking, and then, like, as a reference to a previous No Coaster Con, they said, "Tony, we're gonna have to move to a different room."
Well, at least he didn't have to keep getting shorter and shorter.
That was a joke.
I know.
That comment was a joke, but I actually thought, like, "Oh man, is that really gonna happen?" I hope. And I know we weren't allowed to film, but when I asked the question and the call got disconnected, and then he was being told he had to go to another room, I was like, I really hope someone got that on tape, because that was hysterical. But yeah, he doesn't know how many rooms Breakers is adding.
Okay.
They're doing a tour in a couple of months. He'll find out then.
Okay, sounds good. Next up, you had Robert Kramer from Santa's Village. Are they doing anything interesting this summer?
They, what can I say? They gave away free inflatable beach balls, and that's all I'll say, because that's all they said.
Wow. So kind of a hint, maybe a wave pool, maybe something water ride.
And I'm sure everyone has seen. If anyone wanted to, you could Google Santa's Village vehicle, where it had a very blatant reveal as to what they're adding. I don't know why they're waiting to announce it, but I don't know.
You know what? You gotta wait then.
Yeah. So they showed a promotional video. They were there live. Um, let's see what else. Yeah, the promotional video was like very like heartwarming and like encouraging and like, hey, come to Santa's Village.
Well, didn't they get a new coaster this past year?
Yeah, Super Cyclone.
Okay.
And they announced that within the next 8 years they want to add a wooden coaster.
Ooh, nice.
And KD and I both kind of had the same thought. Once they add that, we're definitely going.
Yeah, definitely. You'd have two new coasters there.
Mm-hmm. And they gave away free souvenir sports bottles.
All right.
And I asked a couple of questions, but only I think I asked the second one maybe, or well, I asked 3 questions, but I waited until like no one had a question, and then I raised my hand. Plus, I wanted KD to ask one, and he was in military mode.
Okay.
So what did I ask? Like they're talking about how they want to acquire more of the land that the former park used to be on, like the paintball area and the ice skating area, I think, and a whole bunch of other land. One question that I asked was, how tall can you build? Like, how high can you build? Like, do you have a height limit? And he gave a hilarious response. Our town is kind of bankrupt, so they let us do whatever we want.
Oh. Cool.
Oh, this 2017 was the first year they made profit.
All right.
Since reopening.
All right, good deal.
That was the second question. The first oh wait. Was that the first one? No. 2 others that I asked were, you guys this year did a holiday event. Are you planning a Halloween event?
Mm.
And he was saying like, we're thinking about it, but we don't know if that's necessarily in our ballpark. Like, I'm guessing they don't know if Santa's Village would work with Halloween. And the other one that I asked was, thought about an all-season dining pass. And he said, yeah, we're thinking about the all-season dining pass. We're thinking about like membership passes. We're thinking about like we're thinking about a whole bunch of options. Oh, by the way, Dollywood has been considering all-season dining since 2005 because I asked them about it. Or I asked Pete about it, like, have you guys ever thought about an all-season dining pass? Which would be wonderful!
Yeah, their food is pretty good.
Okay, all-season cinnamon bread dining pass.
Oh, wow. Okay, so are you done with Santa's Village?
Yeah, I think so. And Katie asked, is this the park where another group made that joke? And I was like, yeah, it's that park, but it's a lot better now.
Okay, so then you had Winter from Schlitterbahn.
Yeah.
She always brings something past
she gave tickets.
Totes,
she gave tickets, and she gave new towels because she said, I think most of your guys' previous towels are probably bad at this point, so here's brand new towels.
All right. Hey, we could use them.
And she did her the Galveston one is called Summer Undercover Con. And we made a mistake once when we called it Fun Undercover Con.
Yes.
I wonder if that really happened, or if that's just a joke idea. A lot of people asked, can Schlitterbahn have a water park in Illinois? And she said, well, as balmy and warm as Illinois is, probably not.
Yeah, make it an indoor one. We could go.
That was my wish. Make it indoors, outdoors like Galveston.
Yeah.
I
mean, the Dells does indoor, outdoor.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
And they're even further away from the equator than we are.
She actually drives.
She drives up here?
Yeah. Which is incredible. Posted videos about Schlitterbahn, or about the Schlitterbahn Ace event. She made a comment about how you guys have to eat at the buffet because you guys are so thin and tiny. And I was like, that's maybe referring to Kay.
No.
And she I didn't have a question, but she did kind of she did make something kind of incorrect that I corrected her. I corrected her off stage.
Okay.
She said, I'm excited. I'm excited that I'm here. I'm excited that Raging Waters is here. I'm excited that, Ace allows non coaster parks to go to No Coaster Con. And then when she was about to get a photo, I said, "You said Raging Waters, the Raging Waves," and she was like, "Oh shoot!" I was like, "Sorry."
Everybody knew what she meant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and they did the question like, "How many of you have never been to Schlitterbahn?" Or how many of you have been to Schlitterbahn? So I raised my hand.
Yeah.
KD has not been to Schlitterbahn or any Schlitterbahn, and so she said, "Okay, next year I want everybody's hands up." And so I said to KD, "It's like, well, in addition to going to the East Coast, you have to go to Schlitterbahn. Here's my ticket." And he was like,
That was nice of you.
That's like, you're having me go everywhere. You're having me go to Cedar Point. You're having me go to Fiesta, Texas. You're having me go to Schlitterbahn. You're having me go to Kennywood, Knoebels, Dorney Park, Six Flags America, Kings Dominion, Busch Gardens Zero.
When is he gonna work?
You're having me go to Raging Waves. It's like, tell MI you're gonna be MIA.
Okay. So was Kennywood there, or did they send?
They sent a video.
Okay.
I kind of wish that they were there. They didn't say, they said that the log flume is being removed, which, side note, when Knoebels went up, they kind of did a jab at that, where they said, see our log flume? We're keeping ours. Which was hysterical.
Well, all these reps probably know each other, and they see each other at a lot of the shows.
And
So-
they were, like, really nice, pretty funny bits between each other. But yeah, they showed how the log flume is being removed, but they said nothing about what's being added this year or what's being changed. I was hoping that they were going to say Garfield's Nightmare is getting a long overhaul into a much superior ride. And I was like,
never know.
And I was like, KD, you have to go to Kennywood because you have to enjoy the magic that is Garfield's Nightmare. Oh, and you have to do the kangaroo, the auto ride, the whip, Noah's Ark,
Fries.
Potato Patch Fries,
Yeah.
Phantom's Revenge.
Yeah, he'd probably like that.
He would love Phantom's Revenge.
Oh yeah.
You, in 2003, would have loved Phantom's Revenge.
Yeah. Okay, so after Kennywood, you kind of gave it away that Knoebels was next because they kind of said, we're keeping our log flume.
Yeah, and they did another bit. They did a funny gag about like this. Man, as someone from Illinois, I should know this, but it's one of those things where it's like it's a restaurant that's kind of like a secret club where they're secretly filming you and everyone in the restaurant can see you, about like how you have to do like this crazy, you have to do something crazy, like you have to do a silly dance, you have to do the Macarena.
To get in?
Yeah. There's one where...
There's one in Milwaukee called Safe House.
Okay. Maybe that's something like that. I don't know if I want to go, but hey, film it. I don't know. He was talking about how he had to, who were the two guys?
Mr. Brian Knoebel and Rick Knoebel.
Yeah, Brian and Rick, they had to kind of go as like a a guy and a like monkey, the like what's it called? What's that thing called?
The box, you mean, that goes dun 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 dun?
No, the person. Like the person like playing the music while the monkey like dances and asks for like a coin in a cup. Do you know what I'm talking about?
That's just a magician, isn't it?
I think something about like a monkey grinder or something, or grinders.
Okay, whatever. Go on.
Anyway, I'll post a picture of this. They were having to go as that, so one of them was like kind of like slouched, kind of like crouched down and kind of like walking around like a monkey, while the other guy was like the monkey trainer. And that's how they got in. There were questions about if they would buy Blackpool's Wild Mouse, and I asked Yeah, a lot of people asked that and they said no, but well, they said no because they're pretty much just like smashing it.
Wow.
Yeah. And they said, but we have talked about adding a wooden wild mouse.
Whoa.
And then they made a flying turns joke saying, and hopefully it won't take 10 years. So, they can make fun of themselves. Which before the presentation, I told them that, like, in the loop, they loved their interview, saying it was like one of their best interviews, and that they weren't speaking in PR, and it was funny how they were the firemen, so to speak. Should I explain what that is? It has nothing to do with fire.
Okay.
It's if someone calls in sick, then they take their place.
Ah. Okay.
So like ticket person, they're not really good cooks, and they don't scrub toilets, according to the interview. And I did tell them about their new ride, Over the Top, and how the legend loved it because it's themed to the Stallone arm wrestling movie that he has. And if they had a shirt, he would buy it because he owns the DVD.
Huh.
And then I said, he also owns the movie Wild Wild West with Will Smith. and they replied, that's one of our favorite movies. This guy has great taste.
Yeah. Wow.
They did talk about how they're having a about their Halloween event, Phoenix Fall Fun Fest, and Halloween Boo or something? Boo Nights? Or, yeah, something like that. And I asked them if they would ever consider, like, a holiday, December event. And they said, we did it in, like, the 80s or 90s, and it wasn't successful, so we probably won't do it.
Yeah, kind of cold there.
And people were asking, like, are there any types of roller coasters that you want to try to like remake, like from Riverview or from like Playland Park or from Coney Island? And I did my thing, like, I would love to see you guys remake the Crystal Beach Cyclone. You might have to get RMC to do it because I kind of don't want cracked ribs on a coaster.
Mm.
I didn't mention that part, but yeah, I did mention the RMC part. But they were saying, like, someone said, have you ever considered an RMC coaster? And they were like, no, we're not planning to RMC Twister or Phoenix, or we're not planning to Iron Horse those. And he was like, no, are you planning to build are you planning an RMC coaster? And it's like, oh, okay. And, I've heard that two more things. I've heard that they're really into the steeplechase. They want to bring back the steeplechase coaster. And when SNS announced it, I mentioned that to them, and they were like, we saw that happen. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah. Wasn't there one on the Europe trip?
Yeah. But there's none in the U.S. There was one, but then it's... Do you remember Accelerator at Knott's Berry Farm?
Maybe.
It was the red and green one.
It
was the one that launched you. That, in that spot, used to be a, like, 3 or 4 track, I want to say. Steeplechase, kind of soapbox style ride, but then Knott's replaced it with Windjammer, and the less said about that, the better.
Okay.
$17 million mistake. Let's see, what else? Oh, the other one is that what was hilarious was that Dick Noble, he was in Spain. I don't know if he was in like Madrid or Barcelona, or he was somewhere in Spain, and he did a live call from Spain.
Oh. Well, he's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think Brian did an impression of him, like, well, I want to add this, I want this, let's clean this up, let's make this less expensive, let's repaint this. Or maybe it was Rick, it was one of them. They were doing that, and he called in live, and he did some funny jokes, he did some comments about, like, no CoasterCon. Well, I'm glad I'm not there. or something like that. And KD and I, we were both laughing, but we were also like, Knoebels was able to afford someone to call in from Spain.
Okay, just leave it at that.
But that video from people closer
Okay.
They couldn't have called in.
Let it go. Let it go. Okay, so does
That'll
that
get
wrap it
views.
up about Knobles?
PTC, they, because he wasn't there and because he had had an injury like falling off his horse named Ace.
No. Wow.
He
loved riding his horse.
he wasn't as um
He was recovering, so he wasn't as
peppy.
yeah, because he's quick as a whip with comments and especially after showing things that are going on in his
In the
establishment warehouse
and also
everything.
and there were sadly no photos of things that he's seen.
Yeah, usually when he travels, he finds weird signs and weird mailboxes and weird billboards and just everything that you would not imagine seeing.
Like there was the one that I remember is like a Donald Duck one where it's like it's a kid's like rocking thing, except it's Donald like laying on his back. So when the kid is riding it, they're like holding on to his bill.
Yeah.
So it's like, not at Disney World.
Yeah.
So he basically showed around like how the PTC building is and stuff. And I think he was in a wheelchair actually, or
wow.
he was in a motorized scooter, I should say, not necessarily wheelchair, but yeah.
Probably broke a couple ribs or bones
Yeah.
or something, you know.
We wish you a speedy recovery.
Yes.
Oh, can I say one more thing about Knobles?
Why not?
Dick Knobles said, this is according to Stacy, but Dick said he's never gonna die. He never ages and he never dies.
Good.
And he's never gonna die, so.
Good, he's got a great park.
Yeah, really good park. We've been there twice?
I think so.
Yeah, 2007, 2013, 2014.
Okay, so
No, it was 2015. Flying Turns opened in 2013, and they announced Impulse in 2015. So yeah, we went in 2015.
so then this day lasted till past 6 o'clock, didn't it?
Yeah. Oh, one more thing is that Knobles was like saying how we're number 2 in terms of food. Pete, we're trying to get back the best food. And they had made a comment about how they had like so many pierogies, and Pete made a comment like, "Not everyone loves pierogies."
Oh, jeez.
And then I told something secret to KD. I was like, "You know what my favorite pierogies are? Free ones."
Yeah. Yeah. But those are two really clean parks.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful parks.
Yes. So we do need to get back to Dollywood, but not too soon. Wait and see what they do.
I don't want to go to Dollywood for a few years. I'll tell you why off recording.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry for this long review and very delayed review. I'm Rollercoaster Rider, and why don't you do me a favor and subscribe so I can afford to make videos.
Or at least stay on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why don't you say your name?
This is Kay signing off. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.